Alright, what's up everybody? What's up everybody? So, flying cars. There's been a lot of attempts at flying cars. Most of which, let's see if I just have a car in here. That is, oh, it's a car made of engines. That's not gonna work. Most attempts, no, most attempts at flying cars looked a little something like this, where they just took a car where the weight would probably spread out more evenly. This is this way, 31. These each weigh 25. A little bit more centered on the wheel. Okay. Anyway, so most flying cars looked a little something like this. They would have, coming off the back, something that looked like this. And then in the middle, they would have just some regular old wings. Like this. Then it's got, oops, like that. Oh. And you know, they probably had some form of thrust, which I don't really know where to stick it. I'll just stick it right there. Well, do this. It would look like this. It probably didn't function as poorly, but it would look like this. But more recently, I think the one that I just watched was 1988. They had more of a saucer shape, which I can make by just doing this. Then doing this. It's not kind of. Not perfectly circular, but good enough. And then in the center of it would be all of the wheels, which this isn't going to be big enough, I don't think. I need to make it bigger on all sides. Let's take this 2, 3, 4, and then all of this 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this would need to be that, and then I'll just do side. saucer, flying saucer, kind of. And then it would have propellers, which they changed the hitbox of these finally, so this should work better. Right there. One right there. And then they would mirror it on this side. And then again over here. More even spread. Forgot I still need to have a seat. This might be easier than I thought it was going to be. I'm not going to lie. I still have all the room in here that I need to make all of my controls. So, for example, this would go here and it would be left and right arrow. For some symmetry, I'll do one in the back. And then I would do more here. That would be forwards and backwards. Oh, because of the way that these are facing, it'd be the other way around. Like that. Let me center this. Now, this isn't the only one I saw, but this was the coolest looking one. It's from 1988, and they never got to do a manned test because something happened with one of the propellers. Mind you, the propellers had more blades on them. I think they had like 6 to 8 blades. It looked like, I couldn't really tell perfectly. Had 6 to 8 blades on them, from what I seen. Um, Also, I don't know how to do this, or if I'm going to do it, but the seat was inside of a dome, like a glass dome, and also all of the propellers were completely covered. So, like this. Okay. I just lost two, but it seems like it evened itself out. Now, one problem I do have with this being WASD controlled is that, or sorry, arrow key controlled, is that I can't have like side to side steering, which is something that I want. So these, my roll, typically would be Q and E, like that. And then I would have one in the center, which I believe that's the center. That would be my AD. So I have A, A, and D. Hang on. I'm going to change all of these to a strength of 5. And then I'm going to change this so it doesn't have air control. Okay, 5 might be too strong. I think 5 is too strong for all of them, but that middle one probably. I don't know. I think I might actually do these as Q and E, and then these side ones as AD. Because once I'm already tilting, you know, I don't really need to turn, but if I'm stationary, then turning, yes. There's one last thing I want to do before I start filling in the gaps and covering these and trying to cover the seat and whatnot, is I want to put a distance sensor or a distance sensor I'll have to do one on both sides so it can be even, but I only really need to change one. So I have 4 propellers. We'll do the inside 4 to be on once I'm a certain distance off the ground. Do a distance of 5 for now. Means that these inside 4 I don't want control over. So it does work, I just need to get off the ground. Means I think I'm going to have to add 1 extra on each side. Because now we have a very steady uh, fall. It's not as steady as I want it to be, but it is steady. And then once I add the car controls, those are going to be controlled by the arrows instead of WASD. So for the car controls, I'm going to need an engine, well, 2 engines that are going to be set to the arrows. And then all of these are also going to be arrow controlled. And then that means I can drive. These aren't necessary, right? No. Okay. Well, they didn't stick out like that, but you know, that's just. Can you guys still see me? Yeah, you can. Sorry, I did not even to check that. That was so good after I moved my computer around and stuff. I should have saved that video for you guys on my desktop to show you. Now that I think about it. Also, the whole thing was like this color, but darker. It was like that, but like more greenish. Um, oops. I did not mean to just copy the whole thing. Okay. So this looks pretty accurate, except for now I just need to make the bubble around this. But instead of making the bubble around this, what if I just use a seat that's already lower it down? Because this is what it looked like, except for the bubble was obviously bigger. But I don't feel like making the bubble. Huh? Okay. Want to see what it would do if I had these up here. Would it fall slower or would it just rise? It makes it fall slower. But now I just need to change the distance. So let me just put it back to 1 to see how that feels. Because it's like dropping really fast since I had it at 5. Might add a second gyro for steering on the ground just because these wheels don't work very well for steering. I'm gonna add another one of these, but it's gonna be for oh wait, I had it right the first time out. Oh. I should have done this on the test map. Oh, that might be a problem. Now, usually for a creation like this, that flies, I would build it over here on the helipad, and then I would do a little challenge. So basically what I have to do is I have to fly around this rock and land up on that helipad without braking. And then I would try and make a journey back around the rock and onto the carrier. I'm getting more used to the controls that I have set. But I was just trying to find inspiration on what to build, and this seemed pretty cool. Well, I did break a little bit, unfortunately. Well, in that case, we'll just have to see if I can have a smoother landing on the way down. Whoa. That was weird. Whoa. Pushing the wrong buttons. Oh gosh. I'll try and land right in the green circle. Perfect landing. Well, I was saying that we can just drive, but I kind of messed that up. So now I want to do something. I want to change these. I wonder if I can probably use. Do that. Perfect. I'll just do these the opposite. Then I can stick them in here. So it still looks historically accurate. Unless you're looking at the bottom. This works really well, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I'm going to look for the original video for this. I'll probably put it in before I make the actual vehicle, but take a screenshot for the thumbnail. I'm going to get food and try and find that video for you guys. And I will be back once I have.
Are believers.
This aircraft takes off from wherever you happen to be, flies directly to where you want to go, and lands there.
It doesn't yet, but it might one day.
Here
Even
we
the
go.
Pentagon is watching closely.
Where you need the flexibility to land and take off at other than conventional airports, then this is the future.
But the road to this future has been long and winding, and one man has kept following it longer than most.
I've always had this desire to build this vehicle and make it work and own one. It's taken me a bit longer than I planned.
Today, Moller
For
plans to be in the
200x.
cockpit himself
Okay.
to fly in front of the cameras. He first tried that back in 1967, and he did get into the air, though it was more a hawk than a
1967
takeoff.
was
Problems led to
his
design
first
changes,
one.
and Moller kept building flying saucers.
We have time on our side, or have had time on our side, time to think about all the little elements that make it work.
Last summer,
See?
with a dummy in the cockpit, this transportation of the future was flown before the cameras by remote control.
Actually, it has different wheels in it than I thought it did. I'll have to change that in my design.
He's the man. But first, one more test with the saucer tethered to a crane for safety.
It looks like his only had 3 wheels, and the front one was the one that turned. So I'll have to change that. This is what I mean. He had a problem with his 8th
I'm
crop.
disappointed that we didn't have a man in it. I'm disappointed I didn't have a chance to fly in it today.
But Moller will be back in pursuit of one version of the American dream. John Black.
So I will leave the name of this in the description.
Call your doorbell camera company and cancel the subscription. This brand new subscription-free mini Wi-Fi camera provides more security features than traditional doorbell systems without ever having to pay for expensive installation or monthly fees, making typical doorbell cameras totally outdated. It's called MiniPix and was created by
And I'll leave his name
company based in Santa Monica, California.
John Blackstone, CBS News,
for it.
California.
2. I'll leave this and the name, and his name will be Paul, what was it, Moller? Moller, yeah. Paul Moller, Moller's 1988 manned flight test. I'm gonna leave that up here so I can remember to stick it in there for you guys to look at. Oh, I got disconnected. So I'm gonna make a couple of changes now that I've seen more of how their design was. It looks like the front wheel was it was a singular front wheel instead of 4 wheels. Stuff that last one, you can see the front wheel moving, which would help with steering on the ground, and having thicker tires would also help with steering. So I will help with traction and driving. So I'm going to make those changes real quick, and then we'll do another test. So far, I would have to say this is one of my favorite things I've done so far. So let me make some changes to this real quick. Which one's the front? This is the front. Okay, so all of these are going to not be there. And then I'm going to use this servo for the front. with some simple tubing. No, it's the drag racing wheel. I don't want that. Like frame issues. I want it to be up more. Oh no. I'm just gonna have to connect it like this. With trusty flat connectors. Not that. This. Okay. I'm just gonna connect it like this for now. That's probably gonna be the way that's connected permanently because I'm not sure on a way to change that, but it doesn't affect the way that it looks too much. Frame issues. wonder if I can land safely on the lower section of the aircraft carrier. I'm gonna try that. I need to end this video soon. I just got my food and I want to eat. So this is, let me save it. This is the Paul Moller, I believe he called them the skycar. Skycar 200. X is what I'm going to assume the name was, just because that's what it said on the back. Ooh, speaking of which, I did notice a flaw in my design, which is he had that rear, like, fin thing. His was an actual rear fin. Mine is not going to be, just because, in order to get the look of it proper, I have to do it like this. And then I could probably throw some of these small ones on top. There we go. And then he had decals. I don't know. The two. The two. Can I not? Oh yeah, you can only have one decal. How do I? How do I was gonna write 200 on it, but I don't know that I can. Without doing it like, maybe if I do it this way. I got 2. I put an X. I put this. 200X. I only seen it from this side. I would assume that it says 200X on this side too. That looks weird being flipped like that, but I'm gonna leave it anyway. Pretty sure it's flipped upside down. Actually, that's not what I wanted. I'm gonna just leave it. I don't really care. Okay. Save. Description. Paul Mollers. 1988 attempt at a flying car. He managed to do a successful unmanned flight, but before he could get in and fly it, they had a problem, I'm gonna say, unknown issue with rotor, oh no, prop, with prop 8. And then WASD for flight, space to go up, arrow keys for driving on the ground. For driving. Save. There we go. And I will upload this. Perfect. Anyway, so this is my recreation of the 200X skycar. I don't know if that is actually its name because well, I don't think it ever said the actual name of his creation. Mine also works underwater just because, well, not really. There's no air underwater for the propellers to lift, but if I put some, what are they called? Underwater props, it would be able to work underwater. But you don't just drown, so that's a plus. I don't know. Personally, I think that it came out really good. Another plus is the way that I made it. You don't take much damage from falling. Of course, you can turn stationary, but it's not going to be perfect. Just I have that gyro in there to assist the steering. But it still mostly is the wheels doing all the work. That was bad. It's definitely not meant for this kind of stuff, but it works. I'm sorry, I'm having too much fun flying this thing. I'm gonna assume it was called the Skycar 200X. It probably wasn't, but that's gonna be my assumption. And yeah, I feel like, personally, I feel like this came out really well. Most of the time it doesn't break upon landing. It is also very flush with the ground. That's something I could probably change. I could probably raise the wheels by a block, but the reason why at first I did have them raised, as you guys seen, but the reason why I decided not to do that was because it was trying to wheelie, which is not something I wanted. And to be perfectly honest, I'm fine with the way that it works right now. Like, it's not completely in contact with the ground. Obviously, otherwise the wheels wouldn't work. And it works as intended, if not better than. And I'm honestly surprised that I was even able to make this work. If I had to make this work before the gyro stuff was added to the game, it would not have worked. But since the gyro stuff has been added to the game, it's made it super easy to make creations like this, and I'm very happy about that. And I did have to use more than 8 props for what I wanted. Of course, they probably didn't have like an auto land feature. They might have, but they also probably could control the output of each individual rotor, making it able to do rolls and stuff like that. I do not have that ability. I could, if I learned logic and stuff, I could have done it that way. But I opted for the easy way out, which was just using gyros and adding some extra rotors. But I hid the extra rotors so that you couldn't really see them unless you're off the ground and you're looking at the bottom. It's still not perfect. It does have some issues where it does break. But it seems to, most of the time, it seems to work pretty well in the terms of not breaking. And I'm happy with that. If I had a center point, I could probably add like one more. Actually, not even, but I don't even need the center point for it. I could probably just add, you know, one more of these, twist it this way, and stick it right there. I'm not able to drive if I do that, but anyway, I'm getting sidetracked here. I also just realized that these propellers still have controls in them. Just, no, I'm just kidding. Like, they stay on, of course, but I also am controlling them. So if I press left control, they turn off. So you can use left control to go down still, which was an accident, but what do they call them? Happy accidents? It was a happy accident. So I use all of them to lift off. But then if I let go, they stay on by themselves. And if I want to go down fast, they turn off and these top 4 turn on. I didn't even mean to do that. I'm probably going to change that, but it is what it is. I'm still very happy with this design. And the point is, I love this creation. I love the way it turned out. I loved building it. If you guys want to see more, please do let me know. I would love to make more creations like this, and I probably will try and make more creations like this. Man, man, this was just such a fun creation to build, and I'm honestly surprised I was able to build it so I'm gonna say so accurately. It's not perfect, but it is fairly accurate, so I am happy about that. Uh, I really don't know what more to say. I mean, yeah, I love this creation, and I'm excited to see what you guys think about this creation. So please do let me know um, your opinions on it. It's such a fun creation that I've built here, I must say. Now if I reverse, I have reverse lights. Yeah, this was a really fun creation to build. Um, that outro took so long. I will see you guys in the next video.